Good afternoon. And we're at that point where all good things must come to an end. And again, I'm Michael Bocadoro, actually, for the last time that I'll have to say that during this 3-day conference, Executive Director of Dairy Cares. And I just want to say a heartfelt thanks to all of you for joining us in this important effort as we all learn. I can say that I learned a great deal from the last 3 days, and I've been working on these issues for over 20 years. Let me begin by thanking our co-hosts, the California Milk Advisory Board, the Dairy Council of California, California Dairy Research Foundation, and the California Dairy Quality Assurance Program. The planning and execution of this event could not occur without their input and support, and in particular to my own staff for the day-to-day planning of the event and the execution of the last 3 days. Let me also thank the dairy farm families of California for their participation and support for this event. It's easy for us to talk about these issues, but they are the ones on the front lines of environmental sustainability every day and deserve the respect of each and every one of us for their commitment to the continuous sustainability improvement of the dairy industry here in California. We can talk the talk, but at the end of the day, they have to walk the walk, and their resilience and dedication is absolutely nothing short of amazing. Finally, let me thank our sponsors, without whom we could not make this informative event happen. Really is critical, and we very much appreciate their continued support. Let me take a few moments to focus on some of the key takeaways from the last couple of days. First and foremost, California is leading the world in dairy methane reduction. It has been just 5 short years since the passage of 1383, and we are more than halfway home, and we have 8 years to go. So anyone who suggests that we are not on a clear path to achieving this, I think is missing a lot of key information. We've generated significant momentum, and we are starting to see the results of this tremendous investment in infrastructure that has been put in place here in California. We have 16 separate dairy digester clusters now moving forward, and that's going to allow for a lot of dairy digesters to be implemented in California. And we have a lot of support from the state that has helped to make that happen, and that's going to need to continue as we go forward. Dairy farm families in California, importantly, are embracing the state's 40% reduction goal. It's a very ambitious goal. It's frankly much more ambitious than any other goal in the world. The rest of the world is working on a 30% methane pledge. We have a mandate here, a statute here in California that requires a 40% reduction, and our dairy farmers are embracing it, and they're delivering on that embracement of that goal. Most of the methane reduction progress has been on the manure side, but enteric solutions are well on their way, as you heard earlier today. It was one of the areas where I was most impressed with the amount of progress that's being made. We heard a great deal about new developments on feed additives in the European Union, about the production of seaweed in a sustainable way that can begin to deliver that to herds, not just here in California, but across the country and across the world. Feed additives are a critical portion of our efforts to achieve the state's 40% reduction. Put simply, they simply cannot be achieved without feed additives and enteric reductions. And so it's going to be critical that we turn our attention to the development of products like seaweed, Bovaer, and Agalin as we move forward. And it's going to be equally important that we develop an enteric emissions protocol so that we can effectively incentivize enteric emission reductions the same way we have on the manure management side. That's been the key to getting the reductions we've seen on the manure side, and it's going to be key to getting the reductions on the enteric side as we move forward. We also learned a great deal about some of the opportunities and technologies that are emerging to help improve nitrogen management on our dairy farms. It will be critical that we get these technologies tested and scaled up, and the proper incentives are put in place to encourage their adoption on a large-scale basis on our farms. Seeking out opportunities to further utilize manure products will also be critical for the development of healthy soils across California. Efficiency is our friend in the dairy farming and the continued ability to produce more milk with fewer cows is a core part of our Planet Smart Dairy strategy going forward. Advancement of breeding practices, as we heard earlier today, will clearly play an important role as we continue to move forward. And research and innovation will also continue to be critical. We just heard from some of our researchers, and their work is absolutely critical as we move forward and as we seek solutions to the issues that we're aware of today, and certainly new challenges as they emerge. We are blessed to have our university systems here in California focusing full time, as well as academics from all over the world working on these issues. The social aspects of dairy sustainability are also critical. Nutrition and food security here in California, across the nation, and globally will need continued focus to ensure we have nutritious food to sustain our growing world population. We have certainly accomplished a great deal, but more can and will be accomplished when we work together with our partners in the NGO community, in government, in academia, and the private sector. Importantly, our global food company partners will be part of that partnership as we move forward. Companies like Nestle and Starbucks that we heard directly from earlier this week are going to play a critical role in their support, and producer-focused efforts are really important to the dairy sector. So let me conclude by saying thank you all for joining us on this sustainability journey, and it really is a journey. We have come a long way, but more needs and will be accomplished in the years to come. And one final thank you again to our sponsors. And let me close by saying we look forward to continued collaboration, continued progress, and continued success. Goodbye until next time. Thank you very much for joining us.